Let's dive into the curious case of Cocker Spaniel tail docking. You've seen those adorable little fur balls with their stumpy tails, and you might wonder, why on earth do they do that? Is it a fashion statement? A misguided attempt at making them look more like a cartoon character? Well, folks, it's a bit more complicated than that. The historical context. First off, let's take a stroll down history lane. Tail docking dates back to ancient times. The Romans thought that cutting off a dog's tail would prevent rabies, because apparently they believed rabies was transmitted through wagging tails. And the Puritans? They thought dog tails were possessed by demons. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine the poor Cocker Spaniel in the 1600s just trying to wag its tail and spread joy, only to have some Puritan yell, "That tail is possessed," and whip out a pair of shears. Fast forward a few centuries and we find ourselves in the hunting world. Cocker Spaniels were bred to flush out game birds like woodcocks, hence the name. Hunters believed that docked tails would prevent injuries while working through dense brush. So they chopped those tails off like they were trimming hedges. It was all about practicality, or so they thought. The breed standard. Now, let's talk about the breed standard. The American Kennel Club, AKC, has maintained that docked tails are part of the breed standard for Cocker Spaniels since 1881. So now we have this bizarre situation where docking has become a tradition, a ritual passed down through generations of dog breeders who believe that if you don't dock your cocker's tail, you're somehow doing it wrong. It's like a culinary tradition, where everyone insists on using grandma's secret recipe, even if it includes ingredients that no one should be eating. But here's the kicker. Many of these dogs today are not hunting dogs. They're family pets, companions who lounge on couches and receive belly rubs instead of chasing after birds in the wild. So, why are we still docking their tails? It's like insisting on wearing a tuxedo to a barbecue just because it was fashionable at some point in history. The aesthetic argument. Let's not forget about aesthetics. Some people argue that docked tails give Cocker Spaniels a cleaner look. Really? A cleaner look? What does that even mean? It sounds like an excuse to justify an outdated practice. If you think a dog looks better without its tail, maybe you need to reevaluate your taste in pets. It's like saying you prefer your steak without any seasoning because you think it looks more pure. And let's face it, those little stubs can't convey emotion the way a full tail can. A wagging tail is one of the most expressive parts of a dog. It communicates happiness, excitement, and even curiosity. But with a docked tail, you're left with a little stump that might as well be waving goodbye to its ability to express itself. The health perspective. Now let's get serious for a moment and talk about health implications. Some argue that docking prevents injuries, like getting caught in underbrush or stepped on by larger animals. But studies have shown that most dogs with full tails manage just fine in the great outdoors. You don't see golden retrievers or beagles running around with docked tails because they're worried about getting hurt. In fact, there are potential health risks associated with docking. The tail is an extension of a dog's spine. It helps with balance and communication. When you remove it, you're potentially setting your dog up for back problems later in life, something no one seems to consider when they're busy adhering to outdated breed standards. The changing tide. Fortunately, attitudes toward tail docking are shifting. Countries like Australia have banned the practice except for medical reasons. People are starting to realize that this is not just about tradition, it's about animal welfare. And yet, here we are in the US, clinging to outdated practices like there's some kind of sacred cow. So, what can we do? If you're considering getting a Cocker Spaniel or any breed with a history of docking, think critically about whether it really needs to be done. Let's advocate for our furry friends and push for more humane practices in breeding. In conclusion, while Cocker Spaniels may look cute with their docked tails, we need to question why this practice continues in modern times. It's time to move beyond tradition and consider what is best for our pets. Because at the end of the day, they deserve to express themselves fully and live healthy lives without unnecessary procedures. So next time you see one of those adorable little stumps wagging away, or not, you might just think twice about what it means for our furry friends. Thank you.